I'm sorry if a stream ends up being at all scuffed or not exactly the highest quality. I don't normally cast, but no one else is really available to do this game today. Let me turn down my audio a little bit. Alright, so in either case, we here have a Division 1 game between Movement on the right currently and AoG on the left. This match is particularly interesting because in officials, these two teams have not actually played each other in a while, if I'm not wrong. I don't think they've actually played each other since maybe the first season round, so several months ago, before December probably, if at all. And of course because I don't think AoG are as good as they used to be, and Movement might not be in the strongest position. They definitely have ways to go in terms of becoming a dominant Division 1 team, but this is why I think it's going to be interesting. Seeing two teams who pretty well drilled in how they want to play the game, when they're maybe not their highest points of either. So yeah, let's see what happens. A few things that we probably actually, before we get into what we should be expecting, of course we've got the pistol round before we get into the full game. For those of you who do not know what pistol round is, you're not allowed to use any forms of utility, so any grenades, no primaries, so no assault rifles or rifles, anything. Pistols, you can put anything on them, and then heavy armor in general, main carriers. All that you're allowed. You're allowed at any point. Whoever wins ends up going through to, and it ends up being able to choose what side they start. So, pretty important on Ministry. There's a certain amount of debate about how important it is. Hang on one second. So yeah, so it's, on Ministry it can be relatively important because some people say that one side is stronger than the other. Who's messaging me? Someone's messaging me. Right, in either case, so the distractions are put aside. So on Ministry it can be relatively important if you're side. Of course, if you're insurgents, it's now a point which you can cap. Whilst the security, you do have to commit players to it, and to show what I'd say is a pretty standard setup. It's even started me. Where is this? It's actually over by 8. So a pretty standard setup is you tend to have 2 players playing on this A point. So you have one who's sort of defending, playing your side, the security, and then one who pushes out and is more aggressive, playing on balcony, over here. And then you normally have 2 B players, sort of playing either over here, called B main, or the B stairs, here or outside. So some combination of those. I'm about going live for this round. I was way too distracted. Alex getting 3, Stumpy getting 1. Just left onto Jag. He's coming over onto the insurgent side of A. He's staling it. Can he take? Oh no, he cannot. That happened pretty fast. I'm pretty sad. Pretty sad I didn't manage to catch Alex's triple. I'll leave Imitation unmuted, so I can at least see when people say it's live and stuff. So, AoG is 1 pistol round, which means that they will now be able to decide which side they're starting on. And they are starting security, which makes a lot of sense. The thing which I will be kind of looking forward to is seeing if does Movement make this mistake I think a lot of teams do, which is committing too many resources to A as insurgents, when security can prone and sort of stay their side and just hold angles. It was difficult to fight that. So I'll be interested. That being said, if we have a quick look at the weaponry as we go live, as expected, AoG has gone for mainly EBRs. Honey Badger on mini roll, who seems to be playing, it looks like tunnels on B stairs, and then Dome Walker with only one move in M110, which is becoming increasingly common. Same sort of setup overall. Movement already, Dome Walker getting a kill on B, Stumpy being traded out by Nebula. Mini roll on B now, playing very boldly. And Imitation is found by Mini in middle of B. Let's see if Nebula can do anything. Is he going to find this player coming up next to him? I do not think he will. Plants Mini roll, but he does not turn around to boogie in time, leaving AoG 1-0. AoG played it about as I'd expect, so 2 B-side and 3 A. I was a little bit disappointed. It sort of felt like Movement invested a lot of resources over to A, but let's see what they do. It's also interesting, just to note, that they have 2 flankers actually on Insurgents, which isn't very typical. Most of the time you have 4 assaulters and 1 flanker or sniper, so the fact that we've got 4 is kind of interesting. Okay, so Imitation looks like he's playing outside with Lenny. Let's actually see what Imitation is planning to do. None of the security players are over there. One they doubled up on A. Planet and Nebula. They know about balcony player. And then Nebula and Lenny both bringing out kills. And that's all. Where is it? That's all on Alex, but he's killed by Nebula, getting his 3rd. Nebula definitely getting a good amount of kills in that round. If I'm not wrong, that's 3. Is it not 3 from him? Maybe it's just 2. I think it's just 2. Or maybe I'm going crazy. I don't know.
No problem.
I will say it's not terribly surprising that AoG is not as dominant as they may have been before. Some of these players, they haven't been playing as much other than scrims, so you know, let's see what happens. That being said, I'm gonna go and watch Dome Walker as he gets a kill on Lenny in Insurgent main. Is he gonna be waiting for Imitation outside though? I forgot to turn on X-ray. He's aware of the outside flank, but I don't know if he's gonna be expecting this far flank. See what Nebula, and he barely misses his shot. So since Stalesby, he hasn't got an optimum weapon. Why is it? The audio's cut for me. Okay, this is confusing. NWI. What's going on with the game? Okay, this is interesting. The no audio experience of Insurgency. Let's see if there's anything I can do about this. Okay, so I've still definitely got audio in game. Interesting. If I can hear running, should be good. If I can hear running, okay. I need to rejoin. Sorry about this, folks. Wonders of bugs and glorious things. Let me try and find VIP quickly again. Alright. And of course, I have caps lock on. Right, there you go. We'll be back with the action in just a second. Right. Spectators, right. We're halfway through the 4th round. Again. It looks like is it just Lenny? I think it may be just Lenny. And he's respawned his team back in security as AMC. He's figured out Domewalker is outside. And Domewalker hits a very juicy headshot on Lenny, unfortunately. I think I've lost all audio again. Yeah, I seem to have lost all audio. Other than gun switching and screams. I love this a lot. Let me see if... I wonder... I want to see if I was to restart my game. Again, sorry about this, guys. Wonders of technical difficulties in using shoutcasting for the first time. Well, first time in a long time. So let me restart the game. I'm hoping that it's just a restart is all that is required. If it's just a restart, that's amazing. But if it's a persistent issue, then I do not know the solution. That being said, this match so far has been relatively back and forth. Of course, when we were last in the server a minute ago, it was 2-1. Going into 4th round. Definitely wasn't a complete blowout to begin with. Right. Let's mute some people. Having a look at the scoreboard right now, you can see it actually has gone more for AoG than it was before. Everyone on AoG is definitely performing right now. You've got probably just Domewalker and Lenny. Domewalker and Mini. There's only 2 people who haven't really been putting out big numbers. But when you've got Stumpy and Alex on your team, that does not matter. Hopefully Planet can start to step up. Domewalker rotates from the side back to the main. But Lenny being killed by Mini somewhere on B. Oh, Stumpy getting full blinded before Planet kills him on balcony. Okay, so Alex finding Planet, but not before Nebula. Just trade out. Mini roll has put it in an even 1 versus 1. What is Nebula opting to do? He decided to challenge Mini on B, and I don't know why. I think Mini wasn't sure where Nebula was. I don't think they knew he was on balcony, or knew he was last seen balcony. Definitely a good start though in that round, with Lenny being caught off by Mini Roll in the middle of B. Very characteristic of Mini Roll. He does enjoy to play faster than some other people might. I want to see though if Lenny can win this fight against Stonewalker and Mini Roll in B, and see how these AoG players are able to get across B so fast. Okay, so he's watching outside. See what perception already. He's watching into lower A. They've got seemingly full lower A control. And now A control, with Alex and Stumpy in a two-man duo, taking out the insurgent players on A. Are they going to be ready for Lenny though? No! Lenny did not peek them. I thought Lenny was going to get that shot. They're not seeing each other for so long. But Mini knows now. He knows that he's outside. Invitation manages to take out Dome Walker, but B is being kept up by the security players. It's a 1 versus 4. Can Invitation do anything? Misses his shots on Alex. And despite killing him, Stumpy comes in fast enough to get the trade. It's interesting to see that Movement are not putting much pressure onto B main. I think that's mainly because of the interesting pushes Mini has been doing and catching Lenny off. I don't think Lenny's really knows what to do against Stonewalker and Mini right now. But because of that, they're doubling up outside rather than playing one at B main, which further exacerbates the issue. So let's see what they decide to do. Let's watch. Actually, let's watch Stumpy. Stumpy's pinging the hard yard, pushing over. Interestingly, though, Movement are. Ooh, Alex is caught off guard by a planet, and Jag catches off Boogie and lower A. And Domewalker's on B stale. This is definitely interesting. Is he aware of the tunnel's flank, I wonder? I don't think he is. Stumpy is stuck in a stalemate on A. I don't think he realises there's one at their balcony either. No. Once it does find him. Domewalker's stuck in a fight with Lenny outside. Planet putting in the hard yard with the AS foul. These misses with the 4-time though. And I'm typing in the console because I'm an idiot. Alright, so Movement. They managed to cap Alpha because of the hard work Planet's putting in. If I'm not wrong, 2 or 3 kills. And oh, and AoG start to pull this back from the brink, but not before Nebula manages to get the kill on Domewalker outside. Can Boogie Mini roll still save this? Mini the wide flank on outside, equalizing it again, leaving it just down to Planet and Lenny. Boogie finding Lenny in the middle of B as he jumps down from balcony. Now, the insurgents movement, they now have both A and C, and security they've just about stopped onto A. Looks like they're going for the spawn camp. Yes. So Plants actually ran out of ammo. And he gets a double, and Lenny also kills one. Oh no. So they've got full A control, by the looks of it. Domewalker is on secure insurgent planted. Yeah, it is. Peeks into Jag. And gets a double kill. Can he get a third? Does he know where Lenny is? No, he does. He seemed aware that he was somewhere mid-A, but he didn't realise he was holding the angle already. Movement coming back from it being 3-1 when we came back into the server. They definitely are not putting Yeah, they're definitely not rolling over. Planet, again, you know, he's if I had to contrast Planet with A1, I'd currently say Stumpy. Both him and Stumpy, for their respective teams, have they've been doing a lot for their teams late round, winning a lot of rounds. Planet definitely won the round for Movement there. He was crucial. Now let's see what Donewalker does, because last round he did actually manage to cap B from outside. He strangely wasn't really contested that much by looks of it, so let's see if it's happening. And Lenny fight trade. Okay, so it's a 4 versus 4 already. Let's see if what Alex can find on A. Okay, so Minnie's capping up B. You've got both Planet and Nebula on B. And they're now aware that Alex is on their balcony door. Nebula finds him. But are they aware? I have scrolled past him several times, I'm pretty sure. Okay, I've entirely missed what I was trying to find. Wonders are not casting much. Minnie attempts to get a kill onto who is this? Onto Jag as he gets onto A, but misses. So they're aware that there is one behind them. And now it's just Minnie and Alex. Alex is staled by Nebula. Oh, no, is it Nebula? No, by Lenny on B. They know that, you know, Lenny is over by the insurgent side of B somewhere. They aren't entirely sure, but they have a good idea he's outside somewhere. Will Alex get this? He has certainly been pretty hot so far. And he shoots, but he's not ADS'd. He's caught off guard by Lenny. Minnie has several fights to try and take on, but Imitation prone on A catches him off guard. 4-4 now. It's tied up pretty hotly contested right now. So far this has definitely been sort of what I would have expected. What I would have expected out of these two teams. Definitely so far. Have I been a dingus and streamed to the wrong channel? I bet I have. This was meant to go on my channel. The DGL. Yes, indeed, I have decided to. I did stream to the wrong channel. Now let me quickly edit this, because it is wrong. Right, where is... Right, moderator view. That's what I was looking for. Right. Come on. Stop being a slow coach website. Alright, so that's AoG versus Movement. Right. So now it's actually properly set up. I missed last round. Went in favour of AoG. It's definitely currently a good team effort from AoG. The kill spread is decent. Right now, the only person who's really at all lagging behind is probably Jag, and to a lesser extent Planet. Let's see what Boogie's doing in lower A. So he's going for lower A now, which Jag did not decide to push. There's currently 2 players on A. When he finds Jag, it is an absolute slaughter up on A. And of course I miss all of that when I decide to watch Boogie. Let's see what Imitation has got up his sleeve. He probably knows that they're going to prime B. They might cap it. Oh, they do, to get last player back in. So AoG is going to start to swarm him on A. It's being baited by the lower A player. Interesting throw, actually killing Alex in the process. Does he know about the... he took too long to try and peek Boogie, or to peek whoever it was on A, Dome Walker on A. He needed to go a little bit faster, because the longer he took, the more likely it was he was going to get peeked from multiple angles and be able to close the net in. But yeah, it was definitely a good attempt by Imitation there, captain of Movement. Let's see what they're going to do. So that was the half. So first to 10, well 10 rounds and a half. Still got to play to 11. So let's see what they're going to do. The interesting thing will actually be what AoG are doing. So they've got 4 playing over at A. Okay, this is definitely interesting. I don't know if I'd agree with this, but this is how they're going to try and play it. It's already had a lot of back and forth. Imitation is holding reception. Were his feet seen? I think his feet probably would have been seen. Slowly crawling. Well, not crawling. Finds Dome Walker on B. Jag is capping C up with Nebula over at A. Let's see what Mini is doing. Okay. So he's on balcony. Imitation has been found with B in their favour. In Insurgent's favour. Let's see what they do in this 2 versus 4. B's probably going to get capped up. I doubt anyone is going to be able to stale it. There you go. So it's a 5 versus 4 now. With Movement and control of AC, and Boogie and rest of AoG having control of the big B hall. Mini killing Nebula with his AK, Alpha AK. Let's see what Alex tries to do. Oh, I do not know why Planet was holding the other angle. Interesting decision. Alex making Insurgency look very easy right there. Jumping his way through A. I think if Planet had been holding the from where, holding the Insurgent side of A, I think the entire round would have been different. Because he probably would have gotten 1, maybe 2, and then Jag could have, played off of Planet, getting those kills, but it was not to be. Right. So it's 4-7. AoG have 4 rounds to go until they win Ministry. And win map 1 of 2. So, interestingly enough, they're doing 3B2 2A. two over on A side. Let's see what. Okay, Stumpy's already been taken out by Jag. Walker's outside. He's not aware that Imitation has taken this long flank though, and he's caught off guard. Imitation taking the long flank around. Does Planet find this player? No, instead Boogie does the long flank around as Lenny is also taken out by Stumpy. Does AIM find this B player? Stood very exposed in the middle of B. Making a lot of noise. And Stumpy and Mini work together to take the last two out of movement. I'm kind of surprised by AIM's choice to do the wide flank. Once it had been communicated that, you know, the player was in middle B, I would have probably stayed there. But well played by AoG nevertheless. In that round. Let's see what Mini is planning to do with the smoke. So he's got his Alpha AK and he's got a smoke. I think he planned to smoke off the middle of A. Still interesting that they've got 3A and then 1 lower A. Oh, okay. Let's see where the smoke goes. Okay, that's definitely interesting. You smoke off the security side of mid-A. Lenny with his 4 times. Jag holding the scissor push, and he's caught by Alex. I don't know how he didn't get that. That looked like that should have been a hit, but he did seem to miss a few. Then he eventually getting the kill. Did he see it? He did, and he kills both Mini Roll and Alex. It's now 3 versus 5. And Lenny is also not being seen by Stumpy. Lenny's 1 in 10, this post-capitulation, and now it's all on Boogeyman. Can Boogie do anything about this? Both A and C are being capped right now, and Nebula comes from behind and kills them. That was interesting. I don't know how. I think it was Mini Roll who jumped off of the balcony. I don't know how he didn't see Lenny. Lenny was very exposed, right in the open. That should have been a tradable kill. You know, that should have been he kills Mini and then Alex kills him, or vice versa. But no, Lenny gets both of them and then also gets Stumpy coming out of Insurgent main. So definitely well played by him. As you can see, Movement do like their flashbangs. They have 2 flankers currently on Planet and Imitation, each with flashbang. And I can definitely attest to the annoyingness of being flashed constantly. So putting a lot of pressure on the middle of A. Planet pushes that. I don't know if that was a good idea. And Alex managing to protect Mini Roll. Jag, no, he tries to back off. He's caught by Boogeyman in lower A. It's Nebula against the world right now. He is staling A, and rest of AoG is moving in on him slowly. He can get his kill. He does indeed get Mini on the flank. Nebula baited out a little bit by Boogie's leaning, but he's caught off guard. I'm still just took aback a little bit by AoG sort of stacking A side so heavily. And surprised that, you know, Movement aren't putting more pressure onto balcony from B, and from outside with nades and pre-fires. You know, flashing balcony even maybe from B. Let's see what Donewalker's doing over B with his SVD. Because he surely must be doing something to mean that movement can't just play out of B main that way. Lenny takes him out with beautiful 4 times. Jag is taken out with Boogie as he evens out. Planet is hearing the footsteps onto B, but he doesn't seem to want to commit to it. He finds Alex on A. They should know it's clear now. Oh no. This Boogie comes up behind him. Oh no, he's being pushed by Mini and he still gets the kill. That was quite the messy situation, and Planet gets 3rd. Oh no, AoG must be kicking themselves. They had complete control over B and outnumbered him on A. Nebula comes from behind and kills Stumpy. So it's 6-9. It's definitely, you know, a movement at very least making this closer than it was to start with. So yeah. It's definitely even though the score makes it look pretty crushing. And there definitely have been some rounds where AoG have sort of swarmed movement. You know, 4 or 5 of them have swarmed, killed 2 or 3 of them at a time, but it's definitely not been a consistent in that sense. Okay, so they are putting more pressure into lower A. Let's see what Alex attempts to do. Mini roll catching imitation. Boogie catching Jag. Donewalker countering Lenny in his prone. Can Planet. Okay, so Planet is giving them some space to work with. But potentially, who is this who's coming from behind? Mini could actually end up catching Nebula off guard here. And that's all on Nebula. Okay, he wasn't as high. I thought he was right by Nebula on the stairs. Okay. Is he gonna find the long play? No, he tries to peek mid-A, which was his demise. This has definitely been a tight back and forth map. It's been definitely pretty fun watching Movement and their flash spams on Ministry, and seeing things like the AoG smoke on top of A. That's something I've never seen before. It's pretty unique. One of what I'd call a AoG special. They are known for, in my opinion, are one of the teams who sort of have created many strategies and nades and like. Oh no, Donewalker. You know, this is a bad way to start potentially the last round, but Planet evens out. Planet more than evens out, getting a double. Jag also gets a double, and within seconds it's just Alex. All by his lonesome. He's hearing footsteps. And now he realises that those footsteps from C. Planet putting in the hard shift, getting a triple with Jag. For relative young stars on this team. Both Jag and Planet pretty new to Insurgency, relatively. Only Jag's been playing for longer, about a year now, and then Planet for about 5-6 months. But yeah. Let's see what Planet can do. He's on security balcony. He's gonna whip out his iconic flashbang, laying down some suppressing fire. Okay, so he manages to just about start. He damages Alex and just get a kill. And Alex comes and hunts him down, finding him. Sustainmentation on C. He's capped his team back in. So he's put the scales back and tipped scales back in their favour for a brief time. But AoG are going to spawn in a second. And Aimtation hopes to, by looks of it, I think he's back. No. Instead, they're both going to lower and he's opted to hold the C spawn. Let's see where Jag and Lenny even is. Gets a kill on 20 and manages to start clearing it. What does Domewalker do? Boogie now, or Domewalker now figuring out that Boogie's nade got a kill. Oh no, if he got that kill, that would have been pretty huge. Okay, so it's now stalemate 1-8. Oh, Mini, he just Ferrari peeks it nice and fast. That was a fast peek if I've ever seen one. Right, 1 second. Right. Oh, pardon me. Right, it's Telly's for the second map, which is going to be interesting because Telly's it's one of the newer maps. It's came out in 1.9, I think it was. I want to say it was 1.9. And it's in the same sort of category as Ministry. It's a unique map where it's not as slow as some of the other maps. You know, a lot of the other maps you've got a lot of space you can sort of work with. If I just go and fly over to the rest of the map. So the thing that's sort of interesting about Tel is B is very condensed. I have to fly over all over again. So B is particularly condensed. So you have these 2 power positions called Heaven. You know, one for each side. And all of these connecting routes between A and B and C, as well as routes from both team spawns and sort of supporting power positions, like over here, which is Cafe, and then over here, which is Hell. And it's very interesting because you can rush a lot of places very quickly, and there's a lot of slide boosts you can do to get places. You know, slide boosting off of this, for instance, which is pretty common. Let me double check something because I don't think this has been. Yeah, no, I put wrong channel link. I just realised. Is it the DGL? Because I thought I had my Twitch connected to OBS. Apparently not. Okay, yeah, that's right. Right link. Right. So again, it's going to be another pistol round, which no doubt will be starting in a minute. Reason it's sort of interesting, or at least I sort of think it's interesting, is because on this side, there's with this map being so new, the meta is sort of forming still. There are no set metas or set things you have to do as such. There's a lot of things which are, they're pretty optional. You can choose to play heavy A side on Insurgents especially. Let me set to infinite of time for these guys. Infinite round time even. And as a security, you can play heavy C side or heavy B on both sides. There's lots of very nice setups that you can do. And all sort of utility, the nades, the smokes and stuff, all being found out still. The pre-fire angles, which for me is a big thing. I find all of that pretty interesting. So let's sort of see what they end up doing. Alex BMing Jag a little bit, bashing him to death. For now, I will put this to a break before you guys all get bored of my voice. When this is set to start again, I will come back. But for now, I will put this to a break. Because I don't know how long these guys are going to take to come back. So. Right, hello. Slightly interrupted what I was doing, having what was meant to be my dinner. Alright, so we're going into pistol live, and pistol round even. Interestingly, Nebula is playing up in heaven. Jag is holding over Cafe. Seems to be a very heavy... Oh, okay, this is interesting. If someone could clip this, this is one of those memorable... I've got hiccups, God's sake. One of those definitely memorable moments that we'll probably all remember for a good while. Or Stumpy whipping around and killing the planet. Okay, that was definitely interesting. I was not expecting the AoG hold for them to stay in Heaven and Arch. I don't know if that's miscommunication. It looked pretty deliberate. There wasn't much confusion. So after AoG having, I'd say pretty closely won Ministry, 11-7 isn't a complete blowout. But considering a lot of AoG do not like Ministry, I would say it's a little bit, a little bit unfortunate for Movement. If, there's definitely a map that they could win, I think, in this season match. But it is what it is. And honestly, I still think Telly's could go either way. Because, as I said, there is no real set meta. Nobody really knows what is sort of the most efficient thing to do. Everyone has their own opinions. It's all sort of just sort of opinions. Alright, so we're going into the first round of the first half. Pretty standard setup again in terms of weapons. We've got 4 assaulters with 1 flanker, and then actually 2 M4s, 2 EBRs, 1 security. Let's see what Stumpy is going to do. Stumpy's clearing up the A side as Nebula watches for Hellcross. I think has figured something out. Don't walk and Stumpy killing Nebula and Planet. Imitation evening out a little bit. Lenny gets a kill, and now it's a 2 versus 2. Okay, so 1 versus 1 now. So they're probably going to trade caps. They're probably going to cap B and A for the respective teams, and this does put in AoG in a better position than it does Movement, because they have 7 or 8 seconds or so on Movement. So Stumpy can set himself up for a nice spawn camp, potentially even stale B. They don't manage to stale it. Imitation does their safe. Falls back into their arch. Lenny kills Stumpy on the spawn camp. Domewalker kills, gets 2 on B, 3 on B. That's all on mini roll. Can mini roll bring this back? Mini puts an end to Imitations. Absolute murdering. So very hesitant about this. He does find a second in Nebula. Again, this actually puts Movement in a better position, I'd argue. But there's limited time. That's Movement do need to go straight for B. If I spend too long trying to gun B, then this will not be a fun fight, I'd argue. Okay, Jag went a little bit full on head first in. Planet's holding Seaside. Lenny gets the second. Killing Mini over at A. Slowly goes up to Heaven. Stumpy and Alex getting a double together. Planet capping up B. Or capping up B. Imitation getting a double with his flashbang. And he's foiled by Boogie. Will, in theory, Planet's in a better position. In theory. But Boogie does realise that he's in overtime and has to step on A, otherwise he would lose. He would have lost Revan. That's being cautious. He's being now. He should know it's last or name. There should be no doubt in his mind. Oh, I don't know if I entirely agree with that. Boogie should have known that there wasn't time for him to win, and there wasn't time for, realistically, for Movement to have won. They would have had to be, Planet would have had to beeline it straight to B, going through C ramp. He was cautious, which was, was the only way that he would have been able to cap B in time to get a win, and I would have gone for a draw. So I don't know if I entirely agree with Boogie's play there. Definitely interesting to see these flashbangs on, Administrators on Planet and Aimtation. So far it's just been Aimtation on Telest. So it's been interesting to see that in the works being used. See what. Let's go jail nade. Oh no, Stumpy killing Dome as he tries to run out in front. Push on to B, then he's distracted, gets killed by Planet over in Cafe. Boogie does find a hole, gets him to B, now stale, and Imitation finds him from the connector. And Jag gets the second. That was definitely unfortunate. I feel a little bit like that team kill onto Dome Walker by Stumpy sort of threw him off a little bit there. You could sort of see that he wasn't entirely sure where he should be watching. So definitely unfortunate. But yeah. So far this has been good signs for Movement. Let's say if they can keep up these quick rotations and also accurate rotations, that they seem to be very well-oiled machine so far. But it's only 2 rounds in, so let's not get ahead of ourselves. But it's definitely good to see the communication and everything working so well. Okay, so Stumpy pushes on, kills the Imitation on B. Mini also kills Planet. Jag manages to even out Lenny, holding the statue position. Now it's all on Boogie again. Oh no, he didn't see. I think that's Nebula, middle of B. Lenny even. Now he found Lenny. Okay, let's see what he can do. Does he expect the Heaven player? Might not expect one Heaven. Boogie tucks himself in, hides from danger. Let's see. What can Boogie do? And Jag peeks over the top of the Heaven awning and finds him. Definitely good signs, I'd say so far. It kind of from Movement side, it always seems like there's a player to trade on a death. If Lenny dies in middle B, it feels like Imitation is there, and if Imitation dies, Lenny's there. So still kind of find it pretty interesting, as in VM4 and AKs have sort of seen a bit of resurgence. People wanting the sort of lower recoil guns for easier spray. But it's definitely interesting to see 2 M4s and an MK18 on the flanker. So, okay, so Lenny's gonna nade over towards certain arch, and they Nebula and it's traded out. Planet getting a double was nade. I need to see where that would have been. I missed that. Seeming to be a bit of a this is definitely more convincing of a start for Movement than it was for AoG on Ministry. On Ministry it could have kind of gone either way. Started out 3-1 for AoG, but there definitely were a couple of mistakes made, whilst in a lot of these rounds they're 30-40 seconds long. There isn't much resistance being offered by AoG. Then again, getting double nades like Planet did that round. I think that was over at C. That definitely helps. Not only does it put a bit of a dent in your mental kind of willpower to be able to sort of push on. Okay, what is he doing? I think he's doing the arch nade. Jag, he's holding C tunnels close. Is he gonna... Oh no, Vey plays out further. Nebula quickly peeking Stumpy. Boogie going for kill on Plantismal after a little bit of a miss. Many killing Jag on his tunnels flank. Yeah, that's what I want. Aims over the right side on a massive flank. They must know that Boogie is over at Cafe. They do. They've got people watching it. They've got the back end of it. They've got AIM watching it from above B. Nebula seems aware of a potential flank from lower heaven, even though his teammate does have that. So that is not an issue. Boogie is over at C ramp. He seems aware of the fact that there could be people everywhere. And he does manage to get the kill onto Nebula, but Lenny trades Nebula out on B. We're going not line for a second. Damn, this has sort of been, you know, pretty impressive out of Movement. As I said, this is a map where, you know, there's no defined meta, and in the last few months you've seen maps like KY and some of the no-face teams, if I'm not wrong, as well, and Mollet, these sort of up-and-coming teams or newer teams who are either newer to the scene or, you know, as cores, you know, they've sort of not been at the top of Europe. You know, they've been seeing a lot of success on them, on Tel East and Tel West, because there's no meta. You can sort of, you know, you have to sort of feel it out to a certain extent. So this isn't too much of a surprise, just because of how much of a, you know, difference in meta is. Oh dear, my headset's running out of battery, but it is very different. So hope those of you who are watching are enjoying the stream. As I said, it's going to be a bit scuffed. I don't really shoutcast that much, so yeah. What's the D getting late? Let me turn the light on. Right, much nicer. It's also nice to, you know, as in, kind of, you know, whilst I've sort of got the opportunity, even though, you know, Movement haven't, oh dear, poor Lenny, even though Movement haven't been at the top of Europe, you know, they've only just got into Division 1 as of this season round, in the last week or two. Even though they haven't been at the top of Europe, it's definitely interesting to see. Iraq's, it was 11-7 for AoG. I will also very slowly respond to you in the chat. Oh no, that's not what I wanted to do. I'm all full of touchscreens. Right, we are getting back into the action. Let's see if Nebula can catch the 8-player Stumpy. I believe that should still be Stumpy. Yeah. So interestingly enough, Nebula isn't actually throwing a nade. Oh no, he saw the smoke and assumed that there was no one there. Boogie getting the kill onto Plantismal. Seems like Movement are ready potentially for this. As Nebula takes out Stumpy on A side and Aimtation takes out Alex over on Heaven. Aimtation seeing Damewalker prone on B. Let's again see if Damewalker can do it. Again, Stacker's the last one alive. He should hear those footsteps coming out of spawn. I think did he confuse it for Cafe? He definitely should know there's a guy coming out spawn. So he's done good work. He's took out 40% of the team. He's took out 2 so far. Let's see if he can do more. He's now seen the security player in heaven. And Lenny, his patience ends up paying off as that round brings it to 6-0 for Movement. Buki definitely tried. You know, he got that kill onto, I can't remember who it was, but poor the cap. At the very start of the round, I think it was onto Plantismal. But Imitation and Nebula, like Nebula getting that kill onto Stumpy, that shut down one way for AoG could have won the round. If he got that flank through a connector, that would have been absolutely devastating for Movement. But it didn't end up working out. You know, Imitation seemed aware of it, of that flank being possible, and so did Nebula. Yeah. Imitation already down through heaven. Stumpy getting the fast flank onto DGL. This might be a difficult round for AoG to get back into. Imitation being aware of Mini. Like, oh no, but he isn't aware of Alex coming out of Planet. He prevails over Alex, and now it's a 5 versus 1 briefly. But in a few seconds, Stumpy will cap AoG back in. Let's go over and see. Movement aren't really challenging for him, which is good. You know, you don't want to run into his line of sight too much. Oh no, Jag and Planet are just, you know, they're putting AoG into the mincemeat machine, into the grinder. Let's see if, oh no, this is an absolute stomp so far. I don't really know if AoG can find anything. They kind of look a bit lost at this point. But I will always say this about AoG: they're probably one of the only teams that, you know, we as a community we seem to say, you know, they've not played for 2 weeks, and then they manage to come back in a map. They win it somehow. So, you know, maybe that good old AoG magic can come back into play here. But I don't know. You know, this is one of the only times that I've seen, you know, one of only 3 or 4 times I've seen a team push AoG this much that they just don't, you know, AoG don't even go around. AoG doing an interesting push, they're doing a double push. Nebula manages to get Alex. Oh no, and then Nebula getting another kill in time with Planet. Jag manages to get over to C with Planet. Okay, so it seems like it's ended up being an AC sort of round. Planet getting another kill, and then Planet getting a second. I wish I got that. Planet seems like he's very aware on Tel East of the flankings and the timings, especially when he's getting double kills with his nade. Yeah. Even if I wouldn't put a ton of stock into this, I wouldn't say this is, you know, foreshadowing of some sort of like collapse of AoG. I wouldn't go that far. But, you know, as I said, because this is Tel East, it's mapped with no real meta. It's only been out for like 5 months or something, or 4 months, and people are still trying to, you know, figure out what to do on it and what's most efficient. But yeah, this is definitely a bit startling. I thought this would have been a bit more back and forth, but, you know, as I said, AoG, they have players who have played lots. Planet and Imitation ringing out with a double kill. I think that's Team Flash as Imitation gets a second this round. He sees one jump over to Cafe. no, Boogie catches Boogie out. Jack catches Boogie out. Jag is caught out by young Alex, but not before AIM catches Alex again. It definitely is one of the faster maps, and I'm sort of interested to sort of see that, you know, AoG aren't putting more stock into the A side. I would have been playing more for A side, but I don't know. I'm not them. I'm not one in the game. When you're in the middle of the game, it's very different. It's very difficult to sort of say that, you know, someone should be doing this or should be doing X, because, you know, when you're in the middle of it, it's very different. But let's see if AoG can get one round on this half, and at least make sure that, you know, overtime isn't a sure thing, or match point isn't a sure thing even. Yeah, but killing over on A side, I think that is Stumpy managing to get killed. Oh no. Oh yeah, it's breaking me. Okay. And I've lost all sound. I love this. I don't get this. Oh well. Alex managing to get a kill onto... And Jag manages to get another kill. Okay, so all on Stumpy now. Stumpy manages to get a cap. But B and C have both been capped up. C's been primed, yes, they've stepped off it, so they will not cap it. Thing is, there's only 2 players leaving spawn. They're not going for A side. Being very restrained, but are they going to be aware of this flank? They do not seem aware of it, but it's already a 3 vs 3 again. Planet over on C side. Gets a free respawn for his team. Oh no, Mini manages to catch him. Over on A, Aimtation. Getting for kill on Dome Walker. Stumpy kills Lenny in Fair Heaven. Oh no, Jag not seemingly aware of the flank. Should be able to call that out. For Imitation. He's now aware that there's a player in their arch. He does manage to indeed catch Stumpy off. So he's now got another issue to deal with in the form of who is this on B? Mini on B. Lenny ringing bells as well with a ring server with a kill as well. That's 10-0. Flawless first half for Movement. Sorry for being sort of losing my words for a minute or two there. It's put off a little bit when I had no audio in game, but it's definitely interesting to see this still. I can't entirely wrap my head around this. I can't associate AoG being 10-0'd. You know, the score 10-0 with AoG, I can't associate that. It just doesn't click in my head. You know, after many years of being used to AoG being a team, you know, you're kind of, yeah, I can't wrap my head around this. But this will be a temporary thing, I can guarantee. Unless AoG don't play more, which is, I think, the issue. They haven't really been playing much in the last couple of weeks, individually. There have been some players not pugging that much. Let's see what Stumpy is going to do. Planet and Imitation both getting kill each. Stumpy and Domewalker equalising a vote by killing Imitation and Nebula. Holding by let's see what. Again, it's being equalised again, being put in a 2 versus 2. Cellmate on B. Oh no. It's an 11-0. It's an 11-0 for Movement over AoG. back last round, I thought it was going to go to AoG. I thought they were going to get the 10-1 scoreline, but apparently not. Definitely well played by both these teams. And yeah, definitely given me something to think about personally. Yeah, definitely not something I would have expected. But in either case, thank you guys for watching the stream, those of you who did. And I'm sorry for, again, not exactly the greatest casting, but, you know, the wonders of not casting often. So, in either case, hope everyone has a good day, and yeah, hope you enjoyed the match. Bye.